What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ghost in the Night, a paranormal and true crime podcast.
That's better.
It's episode 199. We're inching ever so close to 200.
You got to figure that one out. Got to do something.
Maybe we'll do like a year in review or
Like
kinda,
a Q&A.
And kind of go over some of our past episodes. I think that would be a good one.
I thought about putting out a Q&A post or something, but I feel like we'd only get like fucking 6 questions.
Well, we can do that, and plus we'll kind of talk about some of our favorite episodes that we've discussed and kind of highlight them a little bit. Just do a bullshit session, essentially. I think, not do an actual topic. I think that would work.
We'll figure something out.
Gregory's here. What's up, Gregory? Thank you for joining us today.
Like, share, and subscribe.
All right. But like I said, tonight we're talking about Pine Gap, which you came up with the clever title of
You like that?
Area 51 Down Under.
Down under.
Down Under.
Ooey,
But
ooey, ooh.
in the Outback, do they have blooming onions is all I want to know.
I feel like they probably don't.
Probably don't, because there's nothing Australian about Outback restaurant.
Right? Like, what the fuck? Steak and fucking taters and shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah.
Which apparently, if you go to Australia, nobody fucking says that shit.
And you know what really pissed me off when I found this out?
What?
Foster's is not Australian for beer.
No, it's not.
It's not even an Australian beer.
Yeah.
What the fuck kind of...
They made it in Ohio for a long time.
What kind of
Well,
bullshit
packaged it.
marketing debauchery is that?
They also packaged Mickeys in Ohio.
That is just so depressing.
Hmm.
And it upsets me. That's lying to the general public. And I am the general public. But anyway. Generally.
Publicating.
Fornicating in the public.
Like and share.
The video. No, but like I said, tonight we're going to talk about Pine Gap. For those of you who...
Gregory said, hello all. Hi. This is all.
Hey. It's fascinating. There's a lot to it, I think. But, before we get started, though, I want to talk about... I was watching something on television. I stumbled across this.
Yeah, I find it weird that I didn't know dick about it. That's some shit that's right up my alley.
I never heard shit about this until I was viewing I was on the guide, and I said, what the hell is that? For those listeners, before I forget, don't forget, if you're catching this podcast on your favorite audio player, whether it be Apple, Google Podcasts, or whatever, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, however you take in the podcast, be sure to come over to the YouTube channel at Ghost in the Night and be sure to give us a subscription or subscribe, whatever, to the podcast. That way you can join us live for the live streams. Generally do these twice a week, most often, generally on Sundays, but we're on the Monday schedule during football season.
Football.
And then we're
ready for football, Bo Cephas.
Then we also do a Wednesday show, which is just full of shenanigans, no topics, just us talking a bunch of crap to each other, generally, is how it works, and having fun with the people in the live chat. But I was just scrolling the boob tube, and
television.
I saw this. I was like, what the fuck? Let me, on Discovery Channel, I said, well, let me see what this is all about.
It's where it's a great name.
Yes.
It is where discoveries are made.
Yes, but I had never heard of the DART mission.
Yeah.
And apparently this is a mission where they're going to collide something into an asteroid to see if they can move it out of its trajectory.
Well, really, go on with your
which,
opinion.
Is a planetary defense system, which I believe they covered that in Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they chose to send
why fix what's not broken? Bruce Willis already figured it out.
They sent oil riggers to the fucking asteroid to drill a hole. I mean, it worked in the movies.
A lot of shit works in the movies.
We only lost Bruce Willis. Good news is Ben Affleck survived and married Liv Tyler.
We lost more than Bruce Willis.
Well,
we lost Michael Clark Duncan.
R.
We lost the fat guy that was eating the donuts when he got the tattoo.
Michael Clark Duncan survived.
Michael Dark Clunkin.
I'm a racist now, apparently. Michael.
Did
Clark,
he?
No, he survived, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, I think him.
Another fat guy that was eating the donut the fat guy with the donut tattoo. Hey, mama.
We're talking about haggis in the beginning.
Yeah, that guy died.
He bit it. He was one of the first to
Owen Wilson died.
Owen Wilson died. Thank God.
Oh, wow.
I would have been very upset. I would have never watched the movie if he didn't.
Who else died? Steve Buscemi made it.
Yes.
The guy with the guy that had a gun in space made it.
Yeah, he had to fly the fucking shuttle.
That was the best fucking line of the whole movie.
What?
He said, "You touch that warhead, blah, 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 blah. He said, why you got a gun in space?
You think regular gun would work in space?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how. I'm an idiot.
I mean,
I don't know. Does gravity play
if
a
it
role?
does work, wouldn't it, like, unless it runs into something, it would be just a deadly projectile forever until it runs into something.
I am not Neil deGrasse Tyson, so I don't know these questions.
It would just fucking keep on, just keep moving at bullet speed forever until it finally makes contact with like some poor little shrew on some foreign planet.
But getting back to the DART mission, which basically they're going to crash. They were crashing something into an asteroid to see if they could get it to change its trajectory, which in apocalyptic times, that would be a good idea. If an asteroid is heading towards the Earth.
But, like, how fucking bored is NASA that's, like, we got billions of dollars left of extra fucking money laying around, guys. What are we going to do? Let's shoot some shit at that asteroid I found last week. Is it a threat? Nope.
No. Now, that is the thing. I was watching it. I said, well, hopefully, actually, I didn't think it's already crashed into it. We missed the
impact. I saw the celebration of the impact.
Yes, NASA's geeks were all fucking jazzed.
God, I never, like...
I mean, I've never seen a bunch of virgins so happy in all my life.
Right. Oh, my God. There's just so many awkward human beings on that screen.
Yes, but I have a problem with this.
Pontificate on your problem.
They did state this asteroid was no threat to us. 28 million miles away or whatever it was never going to hit us.
Yeah.
So they thought it was a good idea to shoot something at it, change its trajectory, not knowing. And
is this boiling down to what if it didn't do what they thought it was going to do, and then it changed the trajectory so it was going to hit us?
Right. Or bounce off something, because it revolves around something else, I think. It goes around something else. To bounce off and send it our way. Because they stated they were quoted as saying and I guess it was a very high-tech navigation system.
Well,
once it got so far, it was navigating itself. They could not control it.
Artificial intelligence.
They said themselves they didn't know if they could hit it.
But we're going to spend $1 billion of tax money to fucking try.
Right. But that's not even... Fuck the money. They didn't know they could hit it. So do I trust their calculations on what it's going to do when they hit it? If they didn't even know they could hit it, this thing was about the size of a football stadium. Mm-hmm. Pretty good... I mean, small in the universe, but...
This is a pretty fucking big rock.
A pretty big surface area to hit. Now... And I'm sure it's not a perfect sphere. There's probably craters and, it's dimpled. It's not perfect. So depending on where you hit it, depends on how it's going to react to the impact.
Yeah, but I mean, theoretically, it should be all right as long as you hit it from a direction that is in some way, shape, or form opposite our direction. Because if you change your trajectory, nothing's going to stop it at that point
until it hits something else and
so
bounces back at us.
It hits the moon, and then there's no moon, and everything just floods.
I just don't think it's a good idea to be shooting shit in space.
At asteroids. I mean, it was a matter of time. Like we have satellites. We've been to the moon. We've put fucking rovers on Mars. We've put fucking all kinds of shit out there on Titan and stuff. Well, not all kinds. I think we put one thing on Titan. We got past Pluto. Of course they were eventually going to just start shooting shit at fucking stuff.
Have they changed Pluto again? Is it back to
I don't know.
Is it back to being a planet?
It never stopped being a planet, in my opinion. Fuck you.
I agree.
It's both a planet and a Disney character.
What is Pluto? Is Pluto a dog?
Yeah.
Is he a dog?
Yeah, Pluto's Donald Duck's dog, isn't he?
Is it a cross between a...
Are you talking about Goofy?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Goofy.
Yeah. Goofy's a dog.
Goofy's a dog, too?
Yeah.
Fuck all dogs. If it ain't Scooby, I don't want to give it. Don't want to hear about it.
I mean, if we're going by a Goofy movie, I would definitely say he's a dog.
Actually, you know what? I miss Saturday morning cartoons as a kid. I mean,
I want to do that to somebody one night. Like just catch somebody that's like eyeballing the shit out of me. Like, what the yuck are you looking at?
And honestly, NASA's shooting shit at a fucking asteroid is kind of Wile E. Coyote shit.
Oh yeah. 100%. See, but here's my question. What would happen? What if it just went all the way south? What if like whatever they shot at it, whatever this mass was that they fired at this goddamn asteroid, what if it hit and then they're like, that was rather uneventful, and then like you see like crumbling rock falling off of it as would traditionally happen, and then just fucking xenomorphs start crawling out from Alien, and they're like one of them, like one giant one gets out and like looks around and just like fucking points directly at their camera that they have, and we're just like, fuck, how long is it going to take them to get here? Well, it'd take us like 20,000 years to get there. They'll probably be here in about 10 minutes.
No, it didn't launch till 2021. It hasn't been up in the air that long, so
only a year.
It took us a year to get there. It'd take them 15 fucking minutes.
See, like that's how much money does that cost? You launched something a year ago, and it has traveled sentiently through space to hit a fucking asteroid. To what avail?
That's an.
I didn't hear them say anything about the data shows that this would work in an emergency. I didn't hear a fucking word about that. I would imagine. I bet you if we look this up, there's going to be some NASA scientist like, well, we knew going into this that the data was inconclusive before it happened, but we're now open to questions. Anybody? Questions? And like, how drastic was the change of trajectory? Not at all.
Well,
it just continued in a completely straight line. We are out $1.4 billion in equipment and $12 billion in research and development. Next question.
I'm just saying this is an expensive carnival game.
Next question. Who the fuck are you? My name's Larry. Next question.
But they did say this satellite that they crashed into it was the size of a golf cart. So throw a golf cart.
What the fuck good is that going to do? Was it rigged with explosives?
No.
What the fuck is that going to do? You're going to shoot a golf cart at a football stadium? Who's winning that battle?
I think the football stadium.
The fuck?
That's like throwing a pebble at me. Steel, baby, steel. I know.
That's like giving a Pepto chewable to a fucking elephant with diarrhea.
Hey, don't fuck with NASA. They have a hard enough time finding the technology that took them to the moon. They apparently threw it away. Spring cleaning and lost the shit.
See, who gives a shit? Look at the technological advances. Whatever technology used back then is fucking null and void anyway. You're using those. They were using rotary phones. We got an iPhone 14. What the fuck do you care about the what the shit do you care about the blueprints from 1969?
The iPhone now is what has like 100 times more computing power.
Even more than that.
Than what they use.
And it fits in your pocket. And we're worried about what we did in 1969. Fuck 1969. The fuck? What good does it do? What do we have? What behooves us from researching? They're gonna be like, I got to go over this paperwork from 1969 for what? I don't fucking know. It's not gonna help anything. But I was told to do it, and I get paid NASA money, so I'm gonna do it.
I know. All right, let's get to Pine Gap.
Fuck it.
Okay, Pine Gap is a super secretive base.
How many supers is that? 6,
5? That's 5 supers. It's a lot of super.
What is that? Synctuple secret?
Yes. But Pine Gap is a base in Australia, in the dead center of Australia. I was not aware of this. Mm-hmm. Australia has a bunch of little deserts combined to make one big desert.
Yeah.
One of the biggest deserts in the world.
It's massive.
Next to the Sahara Desert.
Yeah. The continent of Australia is massive. People forget about that.
Yes, but it is one of the biggest secret locations smack dab in the middle of, precisely in the middle of Australia.
Mm.
It's a joint operation between the U.S. and Australian government.
Australia.
And I believe it got started with a treaty. I don't know the exact name of the treaty. Back in 1966. So before we went to the moon.
The year of our Lord.
Yes. But it's a military base that is jointly operated by the U.S. and Australians, but it's basically operated by the U.S. Let's be honest, we run that shit. But
isn't that pretty much how it is whenever we put anything anywhere?
Yes.
Cuba has voted to legalize gay marriage.
Good for Cuba. Welcome to.
Go figure. Leave it to Cuba to be more fucking forward thinking than most of the world.
Yes. But they're
driving around like you can get married while you're gay and be gay in Cuba, but you're still driving a 1952 Studebaker.
Well, it's expensive.
And wearing fedoras.
It's expensive to get that shit there.
What, 52 Studebakers?
Well, after the embargoes, they couldn't get. That is why they have all those old cars. They keep them running because the embargo, they couldn't get the new shit.
Just make Flintstones cars.
Pretty much what they were by the time they started going. Anyway, this base is basically, like I said, operated by the U.S. Let's be honest, we're the big swinging dicks of that fucking place. But it is.
That's like I said, that's everywhere. Everywhere we go, we're just like, fuck out of here. This is mine. No, this is literally mine. No, fuck you. Shh, shut up. You're sounding stupid right now.
But the agencies that are operating there are the CIA, naturally.
Duh.
The NSA, which will make sense when we dive into what they do there, and the NOR, the National Reconnaissance Office, which is not very popular. I don't even know, how is that different? What does the NOR do?
The NRO?
NRO, what did I say? NOR?
Mm-hmm. NOR.
Yeah, the NRO.
NRO.
The National Reconnaissance Office. How is that different than the NSA?
Because they're the ones that reconnaissance the information to give back to the NSA.
Okay, well, can't we just...
I guess, I don't know. I'm just speaking grammatically. I swear to God, this chair is going down.
You're getting shorter as well.
I really like my microphone's like in my fucking eyeballs. What the fuck?
You're shrinking as we go on.
Do better, Target.
Now,
I think that's where I got this
like
from.
I said, this was in smack dab in the middle. It is like 900 kilometers, or what is it? Yeah, kilometers. Yeah, kilometers from coast to coast. From
That's
the
it?
north. From the 900 kilometers is from the north to the south. It's further from the east to west because Australia is wider than it is deeper.
Like 600 miles?
I don't know. I don't have the
some shit like that.
I don't have the exact. I don't want to fuck up my phone.
7 something.
But like I said, it's perfectly in the middle, and it's located near a small little town called Alice Springs. Friendly little town.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Yes, with a population of 26,000.
Perfect. How many of them work for this fucking place?
Well, there
is it like a prison in America where the whole town around it is built just for prison guards and shit?
At the time of my research, there is approximately 800 people working between the U.S. and Australian people working at this facility.
That's not that many people.
No, not really. But Pine Gap goes under the code name of Rainfall. Which,
cool.
Being in the middle of the desert, they do have a sense of humor.
Are they making fucking rain clouds? Is that where they're coming from?
I don't think this has to do with
meteorological
chemtrails and shit.
Meteorological manifestation.
I'm sure they're getting into some shit, but I don't know if it's climate change and weather.
These are the motherfuckers that took out Steve Irwin.
They hired the Stingray to stab him in the chest.
That was a fucking robot Stingray. A Robo-Ray.
Robo-Ray.
Mm-hmm. Operation Stinger. Operation Crikey.
Now, this location was picked mainly because...
Hashtag bring back Steve Irwin. We know he's not dead. He's cryogenically frozen inside of a facility.
Now, this location was picked, because it was in the center, plus it was basically in the middle between...
highballed. It's under 600 miles.
It was in the kind of in a valley between some mountain ranges, which makes it impossible for any ships
now, are they
circling the...
yeah, are they mountain ranges, or are they those weird Australian mountains where it's just like big fucking rocks?
Probably just big fucking rocks.
Like that one, I can't remember the name of that big red rock. Just in the middle of nowhere. And people want to make a big fucking deal because the Aborigines don't want you to fuck with it or climb it or anything. They're like, well, we want to study it. Well, it's holy to them. Fuck you.
Right. But due to its location, any ships passing by or circling from the coast cannot pick up any data from this.
So it's the base that was launching the warheads in Top Gun Maverick.
Maybe. Maybe. Plus, let's be honest, in the center, nobody lives except for like 26,000 people in this town, and the natives that live.
That actually seems like a pretty big number for that area.
Because it's only like a 20-minute drive from the town to the base. But most of the population of, I think there's 26 million people live on Australia. Most of them live on the coast.
Yeah.
Almost all of them live on the coast.
The Ivory Coast, if you will. I don't even know if that's on Australia.
Ivory Coast is in Africa, I think.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
They both start with an A. And end with an A. Flat Earth. They're the same body of land.
I think we're looking at it. I think we just cracked the fucking code.
You're all welcome. You
Now,
heard it here first, folks.
like I said, this kind of got the ball rolling in 1966.
Mm-hmm.
What were we doing in 1966?
Drugs.
No, as in the government. What were we balls deep in?
What was that? Was that Vietnam or Korea?
Well, let's go. No, Korea was in the 50s.
Korea was in the 50s, wasn't it?
Vietnam was in the. Yes, we were in Vietnam at this time.
Vietnam.
But that's not what we were. Well, that could play some role, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Cold War.
Was that technically? Yeah.
We
I
were
guess the Cold War was like 35 years long.
Cold War started immediately after World War II. We were already deep into Cold War.
I wonder how boring
66.
the first like 10 years of that was.
Actually,
When everybody was still figuring out the stuff that they were already trying to figure out from the war, and they're just like, "What's Russia up to? The same thing they were up to last
remember
week."
the Cuban Missile Crisis
Cuba it just keeps coming
was
back.
in what, 62 or 61? 62.
It's all cyclical. Cuba,
Yeah,
Australia, Africa, Ivory Coast, Osama bin Laden.
And a lot of people bitch about us having bases in other geographic locations across the planet.
We do seem to be very slap happy with doing that compared to a lot of people.
We have a wide range of bases across the globe.
Well, it helps that we've also made allies with a lot of places where you would want stuff like that.
Well, we're only going to have a base where we have allies, let's be honest. I don't think
I don't know. We probably got one right in the middle of Siberia.
your twin is not going to allow us to have a spy base in North Korea.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But a lot of people say we shouldn't be there. But there's a reason why
Why? It's Australia. White people shouldn't be there in the first place.
There's a reason why we have, like, say, this base. Because I hate to break to all the flat earthers, the earth is not flat. It is round. And you need to have this type of base because from, say, what is that, NORAD or whatever in Denver or wherever NORAD is, you can't pick up shit from Asia.
Yeah.
You can't do it because of the curvature of the earth.
The Coriolis effect.
I think that has something to do with traveling this way, but right.
Same.
Okay. We sound smart. But so this...
Big words, Phil. Big words.
This is the perfect location to spy on the Asian continent, which includes China, Russia, and this might sound familiar, the Middle East, Vietnam.
The stands.
Vietnam, and your twin, the Koreas.
I don't know. I always felt like that North Korea wasn't as big of a threat as everybody thought it was. I feel like he just wanted everybody to leave him the fuck alone so he could kill his people in peace.
Now, in the 60s when they started this, granted, yes, we wanted some intelligence on Vietnam because we were, in the jungle with their asses.
For some fucking reason.
But let's be honest, it was all about, at the time, the Soviet Union. Now, this location is basically, excuse me, it was started as a space, it was claimed to be a space research base. Yes, they look up into space, but they're not looking for planets.
You think that's where Tommy Lee Jones moved after Men in Black 2?
Possibly. Actually, I think that's where the post office was.
The one with the guy smoking cigarettes, throwing the shit out the machine, and Bismarcky.
Yes. Now, like I said, it was identified as, or started as a space observation.
It identified as a space observation.
Yes. I'll tell you its pronouns here in a minute. But it was. What are we looking at?
I just got a experiencing interruptions thing on my phone now.
Oh, no, we're still green. But basically, the only reason it was looking into space is because it had approximately now 9 geosynchronous satellites from several different agencies. So when they say looking into space, they're just looking into the geosynchronous satellites. Now, for those of you who don't know what a geosynchronous satellite is, I was not aware of this. We're showing green.
I know, it's weird.
And mine's still up and running. We just, it says nobody's watching now. which I know is false because I'm watching.
Unless YouTube's going down.
Maybe. But I did not know what the difference between a regular satellite and a geosynchronous satellite was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to educate some people because I got educated.
But I'm assuming it has something to do with geography.
No, well, yes. Theoretically, yes. Now, most people think satellites just orbit around the Earth. Geosynchronous don't. They do not. They pretty much go with the rotation of the Earth. So they're always looking at the same spot of land.
Mm.
So this is why.
So, yeah, they're geographically synchronized with the Earth.
Right. Geosynchronous.
It almost makes sense.
It does. They weren't fucking idiots, apparently.
So they really hit it on that was very on the nose of them, and I appreciate that.
Now, this base has 40 antennas.
Antennae
That pick up signals from these satellites. Now, if you look at the thumbnail, those little round Epcot-looking things, those are the antennas are inside those.
I figured that was where they kept the porn.
No, that's where Epcot is. Bugs Bunny's there, or not Bugs.
Such a
Mickey Mouse.
Stupid fucking theme park.
Epcot?
Yes.
Or Disney World in general? Yes, you are correct.
But no, Disney World's alright. Epcot can suck it. We had this conversation last week.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah, fuck Epcot.
Where was I at? But, so, these 9 satellites are spying. I believe there's actually... I forget. They have names. I forget what their names are. But
Bill.
Each one covers a section of that area.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've got basically Africa through Russia covered.
Mm.
So basically the information, they're trying to pick up data. Naturally they're picking up, the concept is to pick up transmissions from other spy, espionage type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they're trying to detect missile launches, as a pre-warning system for when our enemies are testing or, God forbid, launch something to attack us. This is very critical in our early warning system. So this is one reason why we need to be in other places. Because if we were just relying on our shit here in the continental USA, by the time we realized what was going on, guess what? It'd be too late. I don't care how many school desks you get underneath, you're still screwed.
Yeah, that was a great plan.
Yeah.
Come on, children, get under your desk.
Did you have to do that?
No.
See, I'm old enough to where
we had to do the tornado drills, where you go out in the hallway and you basically stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye because you're fucked.
Well, most people don't realize where we live right now. Well, where we grew up, because we grew up, basically went to the same school, just same school district.
Mm-hmm.
We were a prime target. We were one of the first targets. If nuclear war broke out, we were one of the first ones to get hit right here.
Go for the heartland.
Well, you remember Voice of America.
Yeah.
They had to take that out.
Hmm.
That was the concept, to take that out, because that broadcast all over the world.
Mm.
So they were naturally going to take out Voice of America to limit the exposure of knowledge that somebody had just nuked our ass.
Interesting.
So
I didn't know that.
Yes, that is. I'm grand.
That explains why that goddamn tower is so fucking tall.
Naturally, Washington and New York and L.A. probably, the big city are on the list. But
for the population.
We were a strategic target for that very reason, because that way we couldn't get the information out of what was going on. Anyway.
It could have ruined childhood for everybody, because that's not act like every kid in the world, in this area doesn't ride by that fucking radio tower and look at it and go, I wonder what it would be like to climb that thing. You thought it when you were a kid.
Well, I used to hate it, Voice of America, because when I was in junior high.
Well, it wasn't shit back then.
When I was junior high, and if you had, here's how old I am. God, I'm going to date myself. Answering machines. For those of you who don't know what an answering machine is, if somebody would call and we didn't have voicemail, it went to the answering machine picked up.
Yeah.
So somebody would call and leave a message, and next thing you know, you'd be hearing French or Spanish, because it would pick up the transmission. Or Do you remember the old cordless phone when cordless phones
Mm-hmm.
with the old antenna you had to pull out?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you could pick up. That's all you could hear. It was like basically holding up a transistor radio to your head. That's all you could hear. You couldn't hear somebody else talking. You could just hear, somebody speaking Spanish or French or whatever.
All I see in my head is you just chilling in like an 86 El Camino with a mullet and some fucking like
I had a sweet mullet. Don't
some
fuck with me.
80s versions of Pit Vipers. Like, yeah, I'm going to go downtown to see this super, super awesome White Snake cover band. You should totally come, Cheryl.
Yeah, Cheryl. I've never went out with a Cheryl.
I'm gonna get some fucking Ice House from the gas station where the guy doesn't card me. You want me to get you some Boone's Farm, girl?
Oh, I forgot to mention now. Have you seen, there is a series on Netflix about Pine Gap. Have you seen it?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yes, there is a series.
Oh,
It's only
excuse me.
one season.
Netflix will make a fucking show about anything.
And it's basically about Pine Gap and what goes on there.
What do they call it? Like
It's called Pine Gap.
Fern Space.
It's called Pine. And I started watching it this weekend
Yeah.
as purely research.
Mm-hmm. No entertainment.
I tell you what, it was the best freaking 2-hour nap I've ever had. I got some good fucking sleep.
That's how you know there's some fucked up shit going on there.
I think
Because you don't have anything to talk about. There's nothing going on where everything goes on.
I think they subliminally.
Subliminally?
That's what I was trying to say, but I'm
They
modest.
lulled you to sleep so
Yes.
you wouldn't get the
So
information
because I knew I was close.
to climax.
But it was a good nap. I will say that.
I haven't seen it. Probably not going to watch it.
I would not recommend.
Netflix does good true crime documentaries.
You know how I
and
feel
shit. That's
about
it.
I mean, they could have had all the sex scenes in the world and it wouldn't have saved it. They could have brought dragons and boobies in and it still wouldn't have saved that series.
Excuse me.
Anyway, it sucked. But okay.
Dragons and Boobies. Welcome to the Dragons and Boobies podcast.
Hey, they have one of those. Let's see. Now, like Area 51, this
Fucking
space
sure.
was kept they didn't acknowledge it existed until right around 1999.
Which blows my mind because as long as you just pay off the fucking pay off the locals in wherever the fuck that town nearby, and then once they're paid off and they don't give a shit, who the fuck's gonna find out that this thing's here in the anyway? Like
Well,
it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's kind of like Area 51 back. We didn't acknowledge Area 51 actually existed. The government, I should say, didn't acknowledge that till 2010. And hell,
just saying.
it was talked about in Independence Day. They talked about it.
Yeah.
It was one of those secrets, but not a secret. They just didn't say anything about it.
Sneaky little
But
fucks.
Apparently, there was some kind of Senate committee on treaties, which this was all started by a treaty between the U.S. and Australia, where they started asking questions about the location and what was going on there. They responded by saying
Fuck off.
pretty much no, and we won't tell you shit. So this committee got a little pissy, so they went and found a gentleman or professor by the name of Des Ball. The best name of all time.
The distant cousin of Dej Loaf.
Now, he was an intelligence expert, and he was not particularly a fan of Pine Gap. I guess there's a lot of people in Australia that don't like this because of where it's located, the history of the land with the Aborigines.
Yeah, let's start our own.
What?
Let's just get one of those backyard radio transmitting fucking satellites and just start our own secret facility. Like, you got Area 51 Pine. They'll all just be like spruce space.
We could do that. That's all we need. They called on him to explain what the purpose of Pine Gap was. Now, it was said that the base had been
To spend money, though we didn't have anything to spend on.
The base had been expanding for a long time, which it got up to the 40 some odd satellites, and the space research that they were doing was not. I think they really thought that they were doing space research, but they basically had this Mr. Des Ball came out and said, "No, their space research is not space research."
Is that the fourth Ball brother that nobody knows about?
Yes, that's Baldwin brothers.
LaMelo, LiAngelo, LeVar, or what's the other one? LaMelo, LiAngelo, Lonzo, and Dez. Dez Ball.
Dez. But
Why did you ever talk about Dez? He wanted to play volleyball. Fuck him.
But good old Dez basically informed everybody the space monitoring was not monitoring deep space. It was monitoring the satellites they had going around the Earth to spy on the enemies of this coalition. They basically what they were doing was collecting telemetry from advanced weapon systems such as, naturally nuclear weapons, any kind of intercontinental ballistic missile.
All the good stuff.
Transmission from spy satellites. Russia spy satellites.
The spy who shagged me.
Right. And microwave transmissions.
Microwave?
Microwave.
Okay.
Don't fuck me up.
I'm pretty sure you said microwave.
Microwave. Microwaves. Do you know what microwave transmissions are?
I know what microwave transmissions are.
No, not microwave. Microwave.
I know they make really good Hot Pockets.
No.
Popcorn.
These are phone calls.
Mm.
They are monitoring phone calls. So your cell phone...
That job would suck.
He states that the Pine Gap spies on the enemies of the U.S., naturally, like I said, Middle East, Russia, North Korea.
The stands.
Basically all of Asia and most of Africa and Russia. Anything in that geographical area, that's what this base
the bad place of the world.
Where we've had issues since the 60s, or since the 50s with. So
it begs the question if it would be easier if we were just like, fuck it, we don't care anymore.
Naturally, when you give the government an inch, they're going to take a mile. And they expanded their spying onto the population of these areas in general, be it by these microwave transmission,
Fuck me.
And basically he says they can find any cell phone. They can geolocate any cell phone in that area, in the viewing area of this base. They can find any cell phone there.
So why did it take so long to find Bin Laden?
Because he was smart. Didn't have a fucking cell phone, probably. He probably had somebody else.
What was his trigger mechanism for his vest then?
A dead man switch, probably.
Stupid. It's 21st century
What the fuck
Osama.
do I look like? Now, this Pine Gap played a big role in the Edward Snowden leaks.
Mm-hmm.
This was part of what he was discussing. That not only were they, spying on, they were monitoring everybody. They were going through everybody's emails. They were going through everybody's phones, which we know as a fact they are listening to us right now. There's probably an NSA guy laughing his balls off right now at us.
Oh, yeah.
Do you actually think that it's somebody listening?
What do you mean?
Like there's actually somebody listening to these?
Probably.
See, I don't think. I think
probably intermittently.
I think it's probably a computer algorithm that's just taking it all in and picking out, keywords. And if keyword or a bunch of keyword pop, then somebody gets on.
Oh
the
yeah,
headphones.
same. I mean, some Big Brother is listening. So,
but I think it's more,
be it machine or man.
I think it's more AI until a certain amount of keywords get hit. Like if you start mentioning,
do you think Allen Iverson's doing it? He is the answer.
No. We talking about practice, man. He don't want to practice. We talking about practice? No, but I do think that some kind of computer is just listening, and it catches a phrase or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
we know that because the phones themselves do that already.
Then it's not somebody listening to us per se and going, "Oh shit, Travis has said the B word. He said the N word last week. We're gonna have to get somebody on his ass."
When did I say the N word last week? The fuck?
I'm just joking with you.
I have never said Neapolitan in my life.
That is the nastiest ice cream of all.
It's great if you eat it individually.
if you get rid of the strawberry.
I love strawberry. I love strawberry everything.
Strawberry sucks.
You suck.
It's like the world. It should be just black and white.
Like Billy Madison. I disagree. It's a very good game, but I think Donkey Kong on the Sega Genesis is the best game of all time. Donkey Kong sucks. You know what? You suck.
Yes. But
he called the shit poop. Go on.
I just like, we know they're listening. How do you feel about it? Are you that fucking concerned about them listening to us?
No, they're doing it anyway.
Yeah, they're doing it, and
who gives a shit?
Well, there's nothing you could do about it.
It's weird. It sucks, but like it's too late.
I mean,
we've pretty much accepted that fate.
They can literally. I've heard they can turn your phone on when your phone.
Like Transformers.
No, when like your phone dies, say your phone runs out of battery and kicks off, it's still not off. There's still battery in reserve.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I say that shit all the time. Just like you can't take your battery out of your phone anymore.
You know, it's been well documented. They can turn the microphones on. They could turn the video camera on. Mm-hmm. I mean, the smart TV.
That's why they literally sell webcams and shit with privacy shutters on them.
Right. I mean, how many people have been watching porn on their smart TV that, somebody's just sitting there watching?
I like it.
What?
I'm going to be the phantom part of this podcast. It's going to be like you're talking to yourself.
Well, I'm often talking to myself. So the only way I can get good conversation or a good reply.
I do spooky voices. Ooh.
But, I don't. There's nothing we can do to stop it. They're going to do it. And, as soon as they got the technology or the ability to, yeah, they're going to fucking do it.
What was that sound? He said, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to fucking do it.
He sounded like the nerdy kid in a fucking movie set in the 50s, like having an orgasm for the first time. Yeah.
I was doing an impersonation of those NASA.
It's like Austin Powers having a stroke.
But, of course they're going to fucking do something. They're, like I said earlier, you give them an inch, they're like a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Human beings are like a kid. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. They're always going to try. Who the fuck are you waving to? We're the only ones here.
First down.
Oh. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. Would you get on screen, damn it?
I'm like Cousin It, or whatever the thing.
Yeah. They are going to freaking do it. Now, does it make it right? No. Fuck no, it doesn't. It's invading our privacy.
Okay, but let's not split hairs and act like the government of any country gives a flying fuck about what's right.
No, they don't give a shit about...
They don't give a shit as long as they're getting what they fucking want, the dirty bastards.
The crimes that have been committed under the guise of national security for every country, just not here.
Oh, yeah.
They don't give a shit. And so why should we be surprised? Why should Edward Snowden's revelation be a revelation at all?
Yeah, because it was that crazy. All the shit that he said was that insane.
Which was probably all true.
Probably. But my question is, like, how true was it? Because he's still alive.
Well, he's in Russia. You can't get to him.
Oh, because we couldn't make one phone call to Putin and be like, hey.
Fuck no. Putin wants his ass alive. It's like his ace in the hole.
I don't know. I feel like if the U.S. government called Putin and was like, we'll owe you one, just get rid of him, he'd be like, okay, friend.
No, he'd be like,
I spike his vodka.
He'd be like, okay, go fuck yourself.
He'd be like, I'm going to take off my shirt and ride my horse now. Fuck off.
No, but I mean, personally, whistleblowers is a tricky subject. I don't blame him for doing it. I think he should be pardoned. They should have pardoned him. Trump should have pardoned him on the way out the door.
They still would have got him, though. Somebody would have got him.
I mean, Obama had a hard-on for him because he fucking told everybody what he was doing, what the Black Jesus was fucking doing.
Hey, that man could talk very well, though.
Yes, but he could fucking do a drone strike like a motherfucker, and did not give a fuck.
If you had to pick a fucking like characteristics of presidents, Barack Obama's definitely my talker. Now,
but he was shady as
we
fuck.
need to take this downtrodden time in our country and make it something good. Now, I remember when I was in college, I smoked a little marijuana.
A little. Have you seen that picture?
Of him with the afro?
No, of with a. It's got to be fake. It has to be fake. I don't follow the Obamas much. I didn't follow him much when he was fucking the president of the United States for fucking 8 years.
Oh, you didn't follow like his wife's like $1 million trip to Africa because they brought all their own food and beverages on the whole nother plane?
There is a picture of him standing next to a dude that looks identical to his wife. I'm like, that's got to be fake.
Oh,
It's got to be fake. I mean,
don't follow that
somebody
shit.
spent a lot of time in Photoshop with that motherfucker. He did a shitty job.
He got photo bombed.
He did a shitty job of scrubbing the internet for some memer to make that. Anyway,
Or his wife's a dude.
which all hey good hey
Michael Obama.
hey, I don't give a fuck. It's 2022. Who
Do
gives
what
a
you
fuck?
do. Do what you do.
I mean, if you want to be with a dude, you be with a dude. What you find love with is none of my goddamn concern.
Love is love. Holes is holes.
Shakespeare right there.
No, it was,
Who was-
Mike Nomopod from Necronomicon.
Oh.
Holes is holes.
Well, not every hole is equal.
I don't know, but I was listening to them earlier today, and it was funny. I turned it on, and the speaker was louder than I thought it was at work. And the first thing that come out of that fucking speaker was him yelling about something, like yelling something along the lines of, I didn't fuck 1,000 bitches in college. This is the first thing to come out of the speaker.
I'm not crazy. Jenny says in the comments she saw that too.
She's just agreeing with you.
Well, because I'm right. Anyway, now let's get to the good shit, what we like to talk about here at Ghost of the Night.
Aliens?
The Pine Gap conspiracy and strange events going on. Now, let's talk a little conspiracy. Now, you're fucking with the audio right now.
It's ASMR.
This is an ASMR channel. If you watch the fucking football game,
That's 1 million views right there.
No, 1 million people have said we will never listen to this shit
What
again.
if we jumped up to like 20,000 viewers right now?
Because when I hear that shit, I want to punch somebody in the fucking nuts.
Hey, if people want to hear me do ASMR, I will.
Well,
I
we'll
will
start
do ASMR.
we will do another channel. Just do not do it on this one.
I'll just read fucking.
Because I have to edit this shit and I will hear it and it'll drive me batty.
I was gonna say I'll read Dr. Seuss books, but he got
I
canceled.
told you we're going to start reading Dr. Seuss books in your Mike Tyson voice. That's going to be
1/5, 2/5, red fish, blue fish.
that is going to be
I do not want green eggs and ham. You motherfucker, you. That was Joe Pesci.
that is going to be its own YouTube channel. Travis does
Mike Tyson reads on YouTube.
or Shakespeare. We'll do a little Shakespeare.
A rose by any other name still smells as sweet.
All right, let's get into the conspiracy. Now, like I said earlier,
The light beyond thy window break.
you look at the geographic location that this base covers. Middle East, Russia. Basically, we'll just go there. Especially the last 20 years with the Middle East. Basically, all the intel for all of these drone strikes that have been happening since drones have been a part in the Middle East,
Yeah.
all the intel came out of Pine Gap.
Mm.
Because that is who monitors that area.
Sneaky
So,
bastards.
All those weddings that Obama liked to fucking bomb with drones, obviously maybe there might be something to that fucking meme. He has a thing against weddings. Maybe second thoughts. I don't know.
Maybe he's just saving people.
But there's
This
no
is better than the decision you're making.
this is one of the real reason why a lot of the people in Australia do not like Pine Gap, because of it is part of the reason we have the technology or the ability and the intel to carry out these drone strikes in the Middle East. So ruffle some feathers. People don't like. Imagine that. People don't like.
Foreign entities doing shit on their soil.
Or just killing at random. Especially like a video game. It's one thing to have like a fighter jet, a Maverick hit a button and fire that bomb or that missile. Just have some.
Only if he can make the climb on the exit.
Yes.
And he's got to hit the vent.
And then land a plane on an aircraft carrier with no tail hook and no front wheel or whatever.
That he stole.
So couldn't eject. So if he would have went off the edge.
Premature ejaculation.
Yes, not a good time.
Good job, Tom.
But, you know.
If it wasn't for Tom, we wouldn't be here right now.
Most people don't like all these drone strikes because it's some dude looking at a screen firing a fucking, it's not somebody.
With his joystick.
Yes. And then the controller for the drone in the other hand.
You made a bad joke worse. Go on. Excellent. I like it. I like the trajectory of this.
But I personally...
Much like I like the trajectory of that fucking asteroid that we shot a goddamn golf cart at
which
for no
was
reason.
not coming toward us, but will be coming toward us now.
What is it with these references and comparisons and literal vehicles in space?
I don't know.
Because didn't fucking Elon Musk send a Tesla up on a rocket?
Yeah, he's got that much money. He just fucking put a Tesla up in space.
Hey, Elon. Just give me the Tesla next time you want to fucking launch it into space. I'll have to find somewhere to charge it, but
Fuck them Teslas. I thought I would want one. They can shut them things off remotely.
Oh yeah, and they just recalled like 30% of all Teslas ever sold or something like that.
Let's say you're not exact. You got a few outstanding parking tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Tesla.
You fucked.
Old chief of police calls Elon and said, "Hey, Travis has about 150 unpaid parking tickets. Can you send them to the fucking station house for me, please?" And
he's gonna be like, "I can do that, of course. You have to translate it into binary code and then send it to my work
email." So you're
email.
just driving along, going to someplace to get some weed or something. I don't know. The next thing you turn around,
because I'd be making weed trips all the time around town.
Your car says, "Travis, sit back. We're making a stop.
We're going on a ride."
And it does a U-E, and next thing you know, you're at the police station with 30 armed policemen.
I mean, that's the fucking part about Tesla that everybody slept on.
Give me a 1977 Trans Am with no computer in it.
God.
And Sally Field in the...
That's so middle-aged white guy of you
Sally
to say.
Field in the passenger seat.
Trans Am. The worst car ever. The worst cool car ever.
The worst cool car ever. What the fuck ever.
It was. Let's be real.
All right.
The El Camino's better than that.
Fuck the
because it has a truck bed.
Make up your mind. You want to be a car or a truck?
You can be both.
No,
El Camino.
It's stupid.
Or if you want to be really hipstery, Ranchero.
But one quick thing here about Edward Snowden. Basically,
Let's throw this in there.
I'm just
before he dies.
Basically, Snowden said the NSA Pine Gap was the hub for the NSA's spying on the world's citizens.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it all went down.
Naturally.
So that is all I'm going to talk about, the real conspiracy of Pine Gap. Now let's get into the crazy shit where people really need to, get laid because they're not getting laid enough.
Much like the people that hit an asteroid with a golf cart today.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, it could have moved that asteroid if John Daly was driving the golf cart. Have you seen some?
If John Daly was involved, they wouldn't even need the golf cart.
He just teed it up.
They just put a fucking golf ball on a tee right here on planet Earth and give it 20 minutes. It'll get there.
Anyway, okay.
There we go. Why didn't we do that? Why didn't we just have Happy Gilmore launch a ball at the asteroid?
I don't know.
Go to your home.
Anyway, okay, let's get to UFOs.
Shooter.
Naturally, with any secret base, we have to talk UFOs.
UFOs.
Because,
UAPs.
I'm going with UFOs. Fuck your UAP bullshit.
I think UAP is more accurate.
See, that's No, that's too broad.
Yeah, but is flying what they're doing?
Is it? Are they walking on the fucking ground? So no, they're in the air. They're flying.
Well, so gliding is in the air,
and gliding is a type of flying.
It's more of a controlled free fall,
which is a type of flying.
Oh no, I did just listen to a whole podcast about gliding animals.
I'm
very interesting.
Here's my issue with UAPs. It's the phenomena.
Da 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 da.
You know, that's
phenomena.
That's making it sound. I think that makes it sound more conspiratorial.
Oh yeah,
unidentified flying phenomenon. Fuck you. It's flying. Aerial, whatever.
Which also doesn't help. Aerial. The fuck does the Little Mermaid have to do with this?
If it ain't, we're not getting on the Black Ariel talk again.
There's nothing to talk about. Ariel's for the Little Mermaid's black. Move on,
Speaking
world.
Of, I did come up. I was thinking about this the other day.
You found a problem with it? Go ahead. Be racist. I kind of
do. Now, okay, mermaids.
Is it the whole like Denmark thing or whatever?
No, mermaids are in the ocean. Yeah. They're deep in the ocean. Correct?
Yeah.
There is no need for
melanin
in the ocean. So odds are a mermaid would not be a person of color. Just scientifically. Not racist, just scientifically.
I'm not going to lie. In my head, that went way more racist than it ended up. It was going to be like, why would there be a black person in the ocean?
I'm just thinking if mermaids are from Atlantis that sunk to the bottom of the ocean, they survived, and they adapted to live, they would not need dark skin. They probably glow in the freaking dark.
Bioluminescence.
Yes. That would be more interesting.
Anglerfish.
I think so. I just don't think there would be because melanin is to protect the skin. That is, they are from the direct sunlight from people that live in direct sunlight.
Unless there's a heat source that we don't know about beneath the waves.
You're saying there's a sun at the bottom of the ocean?
Could be.
Maybe. Now then we have...
Maybe it's the hole that opens up to let the kaiju out.
Maybe. Where's Jax
Teller? We get a level 4 kaiju. Bigger than anyone we've ever seen before.
Get Jax Teller in a fucking big Transformer robot to...
Somebody call Jax. Get Charlie from Always Sunny the fuck out of here. Idris Elba. Get your big ass in there.
But I was thinking about that at work the other day because I was thinking about our...
I'm glad to know that while you're doing this precise machining work at work, you're thinking about fucking the fact that the Little Mermaid is black now.
I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, I stand by it.
I don't care.
Whenever I see it pop up on the internet or YouTube or anything, I'm like, okay, what's the... Ariel's black now.
Actually...
What the fuck does that change about your life?
Actually, I think there is one person that has a right to be pissed.
Who?
Alyssa Milano.
Why?
Because Ariel, the cartoon or the movie, that she was the person they used as inspiration to draw Ariel.
Yo, she's also like 50.
Yes, and she's fucking crazy now.
Yeah, so what good is that going to do?
I'm just saying. Well, Ariel could be older. It could be the geriatric Little Mermaid.
Jerial?
Yes.
No, I'm not buying it.
But this is what I think about when I'm at work, so yes.
Black mermaids.
Black mermaids. Did you ever see that video of like mysteries where a submarine had that looked like a mermaid crossed in front of the window? Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
How fake do you think that was?
They're all fake.
I don't know. I've seen some weird shit on some of those things, but that was a little too...
The ones that come up with some interesting videos, the video cameras that are on like some of those oil rigs and shit.
Right.
Out in the middle of the ocean. Those catch some weird shit.
Yeah, like a jellyfish with like tentacles that were like freaking super, super freaking long.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's get back to UFOs. And fuck your UAPs. In 1977, a pilot...
You down with UAP? Yeah, you know me. I had to.
Okay, Trench.
Trench.
Tretch, whatever. Trench.
They're two totally different things. What's up? My name is Trench.
Whatever.
I have named myself after a...
Which one was he? Was he married to Salt or Pepper?
I don't know.
Which I think it was... I forget which one was salt, which one was pepper
I
now.
don't know. Whichever one was there. Because
One of
salt and
them.
pepper's here.
They're in effect.
Salt.
Anyway, in 1977, a pilot and several passengers in a private plane they were traveling close to Pine Gap airspace. They saw a bright white glowing craft slowly shoot out from the base.
Was it Robert Kraft?
No, it was a white glowing craft.
Getting a hand job?
No.
Maybe
It was a UFO.
maybe it was his ejaculate
Maybe.
rocketing through the atmosphere.
Maybe. But the craft came from the base and shot directly upwards into space. The pilot, when they got done, everybody saw it. They landed, and they immediately filed a report. You could do that kind of shit back in 75.
Yeah. You could do what should be done.
Yes. The people who took the report told them, hey, just hang out here for a bit. There's some people who want to come talk to you. That's when you leave. Well, they should have. So they hung out for a bit, went to a closed room that was probably locked.
Locked.
The people.
I don't think there's any finger quotations with locked. It's either locked or it's not.
Yes. But the investigators showed up.
My childhood dog is dead.
The investigators showed up, and when they arrived, they basically told them the old Men in Black line. Forget what you saw here and never mention it again.
They should have gone in like Jackie Moon from Semi-Pro, that Will Ferrell movie, when he got called for traveling or whatever it was. He was like, "Suck my cock, I'll kill your family." He's like, "You're out of here, Jackie." What? What did I do? You said S my C.
Right. Now, there was another incident back in 1989, December 22nd to be exact, at 4:30 a.m. Three men returning.
Of course, it's always 4:30 o'clock. It's always an ungodly hour.
Well, listen, 3 men returning home from a all-night hunting trip at 4:30 a.m.
What the fuck were they hunting? Kangaroos?
Koala bears? The fuck, I don't know.
I think it's open season on kangaroos in Australia.
Well, because they're evil little fucks. Or not little fucks, they're evil
There's
big
just
fucks.
a lot of them, too.
They were driving close to Pine Gap, they noticed a hidden door that was camouflaged in the natural surrounding terrain, like the mountain, apparently opened up. Which
that's what I'm glad that you specified, because all I saw in my head was just a fucking door in the middle of the desert, like just chilling there.
No, it was a hidden door that opened up, and behind the door emerged a huge metallic gray disc.
So we're not talking like a door.
No,
okay.
like a hangar door.
Okay.
Actually, really, what they saw was a porta potty in the middle of the fucking desert.
Yeah, I was like it's a storm door in the middle of the desert, and then a fucking spaceship squeezes its way out of it.
The gray disc moved without sound, hovering for a minute over the base. Then all of a sudden, the disc suddenly shot upwards at a lightning pace, light speed.
See, this is my thing. Is okay. Granted, I guess we wouldn't hear about these stories, but you never hear about like one guy surviving and the other guy just got like a laser beam through the fucking forehead in these situations.
I don't think you're ever going to hear that.
Exactly.
Now, what you could get is some radiation issues.
All it ever is they got their buttholes fingered.
Now, in 1980 comes my favorite UFO sighting of all time after reading this. The most descriptive and intellectual sighting I've ever heard. This is why eyewitness accounts should always be taken seriously. In 1980, 2 police officers were looking for a missing child. They were covering the area alongside the Pine Gap facility when suddenly a hangar door, we'll say, because I don't want to confuse you again, that was camouflaged just like before, opened up in front of them. They watched several objects that appeared to be bathtub-shaped objects.
Like clawfoot?
They did not get that.
What are we talking here?
They did not get that specific.
Less believable now.
Was it like, what's his name from Karate Kid at the Halloween dance party? With the shower?
Yeah.
Where was I? They watched several objects that were bathtub shaped, left the doorway, and made their way calmly across the base. Now, I think bathtub shaped UFOs. Obviously, wouldn't that just be like a cigar shape or the Tic Tac?
Unless there's a dude sitting in it.
Yeah, sitting there scrubbing
Yeah.
it with a brush. Oh,
I think
fuck.
I've seen from the Muppets.
Right. Now, one of them, let's move on to this one, which is probably the most famous or the most talked about. And this is actually very plausible, in my opinion. Back in 1973, while out in the outback, a man saw a vertical blue light shooting up from the base. He saw
A spotlight.
Well, we'll talk about that. He saw a disc-like craft hovering about 1,000 feet above the base. He watches for about half an hour or so. Then he sees another blue beam from the UFO, not
Project Blue Beam?
not UAP. A UFO. Shot a blue light back down to the base. This goes back and forth several times. Shortly after, their light show, the craft shoots up into the sky and disappears. Are you done squeaking?
Let's try to add creepy sound effects, like the beginning of Thriller.
Now, I think this is a little bit more interesting. Let's say there is intelligent life out there, or whatever, UFO or UAP, whatever it is, whether it be extraterrestrial or interdimensional. How do we transfer information nowadays?
Is that the dog?
She's snoring.
I was just making sure. That's not the dog. We got a fucking problem.
Chalupa's over here snoring. She's dreaming.
What do you mean, how do we transfer information?
With lasers, correct?
I guess.
Yeah, we can transfer data.
Yeah, that is a way.
Through light.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, there's multiple ways of doing that,
So
Phil.
what if this is one way that we are exchanging, or the government is exchanging information with
Extraterrestrials?
the UFOs, whether they be interdimensional or interstellar, whatever. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, it might be more efficient than a cell phone, because I'm sure even UFO has shitty cell service. But
We've been doing shit like that for a long time too.
I've heard of people
experimentally. Of course.
I've heard of people seeing lights shooting up into the sky. I think a lot of it can be spotlights. Like what's the grand opening.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
No, but generally those are moving around, kind of in a twirly flat fashion. But I've seen other videos of UFO type shit where a light beam just shoots up from the sky, straight, doesn't move. I think there was something at Skinwalker Ranch. I think they talked about. That was one of the signs before the show.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, Travis Scott and Mr.
Was it Scott? No, Travis Scott's the rapper.
What I thought Travis.
I don't know.
The scientist, Travis something.
Who's apparently a legitimate scientist.
Legitimate. He probably helped with the fucking...
Much more legitimate of a scientist than Dragon is a security expert.
And Mr. Frugal or whatever the fuck his name is, who owns the joint now.
The kid from fucking Superbad. Fogel! Hi!
Apparently, that was one of the sightings before they bought... I guess maybe back in the whatchamajigger days.
That was a close one. And I'm a ghost again.
Who owned it? What? His name's drawing a blank.
The guy that owns it?
Before it.
Bigelow. Robert Bigelow.
Yeah, Robert Bigelow, yes. Back in his day. That was one of the
Which
things,
really wasn't even that long ago.
That was one of the things they saw. And didn't I see, this might have been fake, didn't they see something like that from the International Space Station? Lights shoot up from the Earth. I thought I saw videos, but like I said, it was probably fake. But
I don't know. I don't have time to keep up with that shit. You know that.
Well, it's part of the podcast. You're supposed to keep up with that shit. Of course, you're not even here. Why am I even talking to you? You're
Exactly.
You're not on the podcast.
I'm John Cena over here.
You can't see me. All right. Anyway, but I think that's where was I at? Oh shit! I don't want to stop the recording. I think that's a little bit more interesting with the lights. Maybe there's data transfer between the UFO and the U.S. government.
Yeah, this chair is definitely slowly dropping on its own because it's all the way down again. God damn it.
Now, the final thing I want
Too fat for my chair.
The final thing I want to talk about is something out there. And we've kind of discussed this kind of shit before.
Now we're getting into the stuff that's out there.
Oh, that's really out there.
Not the swinging storm, the French doors in the middle of the desert.
Now, there are those perfectly sane people that have no mental illness at all believe that Pine Gap is basically a portal. I'll get to that in a minute. Basically, they are saying the CIA has been conducting time-traveling and super soldier experiments at Pine Gap.
They're Universal Soldier.
Very much so. Or Time Cop, one of the two.
Man, I have a lot to say for a ghost.
Yes. But they say that they're using portals to send people to and from Mars. Does that ring a bell?
20 and back.
20 and back program. A researcher by the name of Richard Sauter claims that he spoke to a whistleblower named Rich Hansen. Hansen was a participant and left from the time portal that took him to Mars. So he actually traveled from Earth to Mars in a time portal. And the only true fact that we know for a 100% fact about this story is that the CIA is heavy into Pine Gap.
Yeah.
So we know the CIA is there.
Oh, ghost arm.
Now, Sauter believes that Pine Gap exists and functions on several planes of reality. Basically means it's a multi-dimensional site. It's on all dimensions.
So he's going with the story that nobody can really argue with because, no. Good tactic, Sauter.
I agree.
Good tactic.
Now, but here's my issue with these type of whistleblowers. Not the Snowden whistleblowers, because I think there's a perfectly good explanation why he's still breathing.
Yeah.
But guys like this Richard Sauter and this Hansen guy, if this shit is true, if this shit is 100% accurate and without a doubt is happening, you're telling me the government just couldn't make somebody disappear?
Right. Something that they do regularly.
Right. Do a little wet work.
We have another subscriber.
Sweet, we love you. Thank you.
Whoever you are that subscribed.
But just an average Joe whistleblower, it's not. Accidents happen all the time. Brake failures happen all the time.
Right.
I believe there's
car bombs happen all the time.
I believe there's such a thing as a heart attack gun. I think that's been proven.
Yeah.
And what was that shit that happened down in Cuba? The sonic weapon where everybody got sick in the embassy. Mm-hmm. That shit's real.
Yeah.
We were working on that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't working on it anymore. Let me rephrase that. We have that shit.
We got it. We keep that thing on us.
We got it. We're sporting it.
Fuck with me, boy.
Why are these people still living?
Right? That's what I said earlier.
That's the kind of thing that boggles my mind. I think now it's
all part of the plan.
There's two ways to look at this. A, they're keeping them alive because one, possibly they are telling the 100% truth, and they are so wacky and crazy, or they appear to be so wacky and crazy. They know nobody's really going to believe them except other wacky and crazy people.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a hiding in plain sight kind of concept.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Which would potentially make the most sense anyway.
Or this actually makes more sense if I'm being. Let them talk about UFOs and blue lights and, what's that? What was that Martian's name on Looney Tunes?
Marvin
the Martian, yeah. Let them talk about him all day long. And
Prepared to be destroyed.
And the flying time portal to Mars and the 20 and back type shit.
You will be my slave.
Let them talk about that all fucking day long. That way they're not thinking about how they're watching you jerk it to Pornhub.
What if the aliens are here and it is literally like a species or a race of Marvin the Martians? There's just a bunch of little, why the fuck did Marvin the Martian have like a Trojan helmet on?
I don't know.
Didn't make sense.
What was it, more like a Spartan helmet?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just walking around. I'm going to enslave the entire human race with my one little gun and my green dog.
But I think that's more. I mean, that's the double-edged sword of the UFO. Any UFO topic when it comes to the U.S. or any secret base. I think it's funny that if it's a secret base, everybody automatically jumps to UFO.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one isn't quite as bad as Area 51 with, the Roswell landing or crash and the proximity to that. This is just a secret base that we use to spy on people, but everybody wants to jump to the UFO, to the wacky shit. Because that's more fun to talk about than them reading your emails.
It's like the guy from Office Space. It's a jump to conclusions board.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Office Space?
Yeah. Wasn't a big fan.
You're crazy. Hey, Peter, man. Check out the tits on the girl on Channel 10. He said, Lawrence, if you want to talk to me, just come over. All right. What's up, man? Lawrence, anybody ever say to you that you look like you got a case of the Mondays? No, man. Shit, no. I believe you get your ass kicked for saying something like that, man.
So that is my take on
the gap that is Pine.
The Pine Gap. Not some hooker in the woods.
I don't know.
I
find it more interesting in the Area 51 just because it's in fucking Australia.
But it makes sense that it's. I mean, I get why it kind of drives. Not to get political, people. Well, why we have all these bases over there? Because we need that base there to kind of give us a heads up when fucking a nuclear warhead's coming our way. Because by the time a base here picks up the fucking radar signature, guess what?
It's too fucking late.
We're already glowing in the fucking dark.
We're fucked.
So I get why we need to have a little. I'd rather know what's happening a long time in advance than short time in advance in any aspect. Now, when you get to fucking droning weddings and buildings with civilians in it, okay, yeah, then we have a fucking issue. Then we have a fucking problem.
Yeah, that's a little shitty.
I mean, what the fuck does the special ops fuckers do? Send them in. Jesus Christ, that's what the black ops, that's what they make their fucking money on.
So you're saying we need to send SEAL Team 6 into Pine Gap, see what's going on?
SEAL Team 6, that's probably where they're located. Think about it. In the
SEAL Teams like 1 through 13.
In the desert. They say, fuck that water. We're going in the desert.
They're just eating venomous snakes and drinking their own piss.
Of course, here's my issue with Australia in this base. I would not want to go to Australia. Ever.
Everything wants to kill you there.
Everything. 11 of the whatever most venomous snakes in the world are from there.
There's plenty.
Everything wants to kill you.
The funnel web spider.
Yes. Everything can bite you.
The huntsman spider, which is pretty much harmless, but it's the biggest spider. And it's like, they can be like 13 inches across from like leg to leg.
Fuck that. And then let's go. Everybody lives on the coast.
Sharks.
A lot of fucking sharks.
Crocodiles that can live in salt water.
Fuck that.
What happens when you go to take your kids to the beach and there's a fucking crocodile dragging a great white up onto the beach? Like, it's back in Australia, right? Oh.
Get a Foster's and a bloomin' onion. What was Gregory got to say since we're about done? And if all the people are at the same wedding, it's about the. See, I'm going to disagree with that. No. Gregory's saying just because they're at the wedding, they deserve to die too.
Just fucking snipe them.
No,
Or hit them with some cyanide.
Trust me. Travis and I both have probably in our history, I know I've hung out with. I have acquaintances that are shady. And I'm sure you have too. Hell, you're shady.
Ow.
But should I be taken out for your misdoings? Just because I know you.
No, you should be taken out for your own good.
Probably. No, so.
I don't want to shoot old Yeller Ma.
I mean, just because, a family member might be a bad person does not make you a bad person. And why do you have to die? That's what a sniper's for. We get Mark Wahlberg and his dog.
Or Bradley Cooper.
Right. To snipe him. One shot, one kill.
Mm-hmm. Or
Just burn down the whole fucking building.
Or Matt Damon.
But not everybody you will never convince me not everybody at that wedding is a supporter. It's a I have family members in this fucking country that I do not necessarily fucking like, but I'm sure I've been to a family reunion with them. Now, if one of them was a fucking assassin, I'm going to get sniped. I don't even like the motherfucker. Whatever. All right, let's end this.
He's an asshole, but he invite us. He have great food. We go.
If there's free beer, I'm fucking going.
That's fair.
I don't give a fuck who it is.
That's
Osama
fair.
bin Laden could have an open bar. My ass is going to be there.
I'd be sending pictures of him. I'd be like, he's here. Send him.
But
Send him in.
what's that noise? Oh, fuck. It's a drone. Shit.
Worth it.
All right. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh. The laundry bag stuck to her foot.
Oh, poor baby.
That's pretty funny.
All right. We will be back what time? We'll be back Wednesday for What the Fuck
I
Wednesday.
think so.
We're going to try to do that.
We'll keep you posted.
All right. We will see you guys on Wednesday. And next Sunday or next Monday, we're still on the Monday schedule for now. We will be doing a 200 special episode where we might rehash some shit.
We'll see. I don't know.
We haven't figured out what we're going to do for 200. Don't forget to follow us on all the social medias at Instagram at ghost_night_podcast, Twitter at night_ghost, Facebook Ghost to the Night, and TikTok at GITN.podcast.
Bing, bang, boom.
I'm in and out, just like sex, baby. Be sure to like and subscribe, all that happy shit. If you want the bonus Patreon episodes, go to patreon.com/GITN podcast, where we have a bunch of extra shit that's only available to Patreon subscribers, and we do a live stream after What the Fuck Wednesday.
Usually.
Most often, sometimes, but we try to do it. But that is only for Patreon subscribers that get to partake in that live stream. So we will see you for the Wednesday episode, and then for episode 200, our special extravaganza.
It's either going to be an extravaganza or it's just going to be a normal ass episode.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll talk at you later.